Welcome to my kitchen. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here with us today. In this culinary explainer, we're going to do something really fun. You're stepping right into the shoes of an apprentice to learn the sacred vocabulary of Japanese cooking. Because, as any master chef will tell you, before you can command the fire and the flavor, you really have to speak the language of the kitchen. Now, before we even think about igniting those stoves or sharpening a single blade, we've got to get on the same page with my core philosophy. Language is exactly like cooking. It requires us to perfectly pair our actions, which we call doshi or verbs, with our physical instruments, the dogu, our tools. Think about it. You simply can't have a masterful cut without a masterful blade, right? All right, let's get into it. Section 1, the art of preparation. So every single great meal begins right here at the prep station. This is where we show absolute respect for our raw ingredients way before the fire ever touches them. Our very first steps in the flow of the kitchen, they're simple, but they demand total focus. We retrieve our fresh, vibrant ingredients from the reizogo, the refrigerator. Then we place them down really carefully and respectfully onto the manaita, which is our sturdy, traditional wooden cutting board. And honestly, this is where the magic really begins. Now take a close look at this specific tool because it's widely considered the very soul of the chef, the Hocho, or kitchen knife. It's a real game changer. The way you care for, sharpen, and ultimately handle your Hocho literally dictates the quality, texture, and the beauty of your final dish. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how our tools and actions connect. With the Hocho firmly and properly in our grip, we perform our first foundational doshi, or verb, Kiru. Kiru simply means to cut. Mastering Kiru is absolutely the bedrock of all our preparation. Every single slice has to be intentional. But when a really delicate recipe demands even more precision, like say for fine aromatics like fresh, fragrant ginger or crisp garlic, we have to Kizamu. Kizamu means to rapidly and finely chop or mince our ingredients into tiny, perfectly uniform pieces. It requires a really steady rhythm, total focus, and an incredibly sharp blade. If you listen closely in a busy kitchen, the rapid tapping of Kizamu, that's the heartbeat of the room. Moving right along to Section 2, mastering water and steam. Okay, so now that our ingredients are precisely prepped, we step away from the blade and we harness the gentle, transformative powers of liquid. Here sits the heavy nabe, our trusty pot or saucepan. The nabe acts as the reliable, heat-conducting home for all our rich liquids, stocks, and delicate broths. It is quite literally the heart of Japanese comfort food. Inside that nabe, we execute a really important verb, Niru. Niru is the action where we slowly simmer or stew our ingredients over time. We use this patient technique to make sure tough root vegetables and meats become incredibly rich, deeply flavored, and just wonderfully tender. Alternatively, we can capture the rising, invisible heat from that boiling water below to musu. Musu is the highly elegant action of steaming. It gently cooks the food while perfectly preserving its pure, natural taste, its vibrant color, and all that nutritional value, without ever actually submerging it. Now, here is a crucial distinction you absolutely must master as an apprentice. It's super important. We use the verb Yuderu to boil solid ingredients, like eggs or fresh udon noodles. But we use the verb Wakasu specifically when we are boiling the actual water or liquids themselves. Remember it like this. You never Wakasu a noodle. You Yuderu it. Once that rapid boiling action is complete, timing is everything. We've got to quickly rescue our ingredients from the water using a zaru. The zaru is our beautiful, traditional bamboo or mesh strainer. It lets all that hot water escape instantly, which preserves the perfect texture of our food. All right, let's turn up the heat. Section 3, mastering fire and oil. We've mastered water, so let's move over to the hotline and see how this all builds into an exciting explosion of flavor and searing heat. This heavy, heat-retaining iron tool right here is the furry pan, or frying pan. This is exactly where intense, direct stovetop heat meets oil, creating some truly incredible textures and mouth-watering aromas. So the crucial point here is mastering yaku. Yaku is the fundamental, essential cooking verb to grill, bake, or roast your ingredients to absolute caramelized perfection. Whether it's a delicate piece of fish or a really rich cut of meat, mastering yaku is completely non-negotiable for any chef. When we turn that heat up and toss our ingredients quickly over a roaring high flame in the fry pan, we're performing the dynamic action known as itamaru.
Itamaru means to stir fry. We're keeping the food moving constantly so it cooks evenly, rapidly, and keeps its vibrant crispness, all while taking on the amazing fragrant scent of toasted sesame oil.
And for that incredible, satisfying golden crunch that literally everyone loves, just think of perfect light tempura or crispy chicken. We completely submerge our ingredients in a deep bath of bubbling hot oil to agiru. Agiru simply means to deep fry. Just to truly cement this in your apprentice memory, you must always associate the furapan and high heat with these three powerful fiery verbs. First, yaku, to grill or bake. Second, itamaru, to stir-fry. And third, agaru, to deep fry. Master these three, and you master the flame.
Almost time to eat. Section 4, bringing it together.
The heat of service is finally winding down, and we arrive at the serving station. The quiet, technological workhorse of the modern Japanese kitchen sits right here, the suhanki. This is our electric rice cooker. It flawlessly and consistently prepares our daily grain in the background while we focus all our attention on the fire and the blade. To handle this precious, perfectly cooked sticky rice from the suihanki, we exclusively use a shimoji. A shimoji is a specialized rice paddle, and it's designed specifically with a flat, smooth surface. This ensures we don't accidentally crush or damage the delicate, glossy grains when we're serving them. Right next to it sits the otama. The otama is the rounded ladle we use to gracefully portion and serve our beautiful simmering broths and miso soups straight out of the nabe and right into the waiting bowls. And our final essential action before we actually present the dish to the customer is mazuru. Mazuru is the verb we use to mix or blend our ingredients and flavors together seamlessly, bringing perfect harmony and balance to the final plate. My apprentice, this explainer has given you the foundational tools, the do-you, and the essential actions, the doshi of my kitchen. You now truly speak the language. So, as you look at these tools in your own home, I leave you with one final exciting question to chew on. What will you cook first?